Welcome to another edition of Behind the Bands. I'm your host, Jordan Henderson. Each episode, we focus on a local band in the four-state area, and this week is no different. Bringing you a band who likes to mix multiple genres and sound together to make one great sound. A band that also takes a song about a sandwich just as seriously as a song about murder. Please help me welcome our guest this week, Tragic Prelude. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
How you guys doing this?
Doing great.
Now, before we go any further, can we get you guys all to introduce yourselves and what instruments you play and what you do?
Yeah, my name's Jimmy Adams, and I play guitar and sing.
I'm Kyle Logal, it's bass and vocals.
I'm Tyler Schallenberger, and I play banjo and sing.
Now you guys introduced yourselves. I think this is the perfect time to go into our first song, Well Driller. Here is Well Driller by Tragic Prelude.
Tragic Prelude Band, take one, Well Driller. Well, I am a driller, yeah, my son, he works for me, digging those water wells out in western Kansas and panhandles too. We'd a hitch up our team and wagon, go to work. Kill a couple jackrabbits and save them for the night. We were out west of Garmin when our water's down deep. Finished up the second night, got paid in cash. Something didn't set right. They had those shifty eyes, oh they did. Well, we made it back home just across that Kansas border. Made it to the dugout just before dark. Loaded the shotgun and bolted the door. Laid our heads down, just hoping for the best. Well, the middle of the night, we heard them knocking. Open the door, they said. No good reason, our well was good. They started to break that door down. Well, now I warned them once, now I warned them twice. I am a peaceful man. I warned them 3 times, but they refused to go. And as the door was breaking, I let go with both barrels. I let go with both barrels. I let go with both barrels. I let go. All was quiet, no blood on the ground. We fixed that old door, go back to work. Well, I am a driller, yeah, my son, he works for me. digging those water wells. Well, western Kansas and Kansas too. We'd hitched up our team and wagon, go to work.
Guys, once again, thank you for joining us. Can you explain to our audience what Well Drilled is about and what inspired you to make that song?
Yeah, so a lot of our songs aren't really necessarily even written by us. Like, we'll write the music and we'll write lyrics for a lot of our songs, but
The melodies.
and the melodies. But for this particular song, a good friend of ours, Jared Webb, wrote the song about his family. This is about his great grandpa and his uncle or great uncle, and they were the ones that experienced that situation when they were digging a well out in Guyman, Oklahoma. We really enjoy, having friends and family write lyrics. Maybe they're not as musically inclined, and we can take those and write those in.
And this is, I'd probably say, a band favorite, for sure.
Yeah, it's one of the oldest ones we have too. This came from way back in the beginning, so that's kind of fun too.
Okay. So now, getting more into guys' your history, you guys have officially been together since 2010, but you've known and hung out with each other for a long time before that. So how'd you guys know each other, and how'd you guys come together to make Tragic Prelude?
I've known Jimmy since church days back when we were little kids.
Yeah.
And then we had the pleasure of singing in a choir together our junior years of high school and singing Carnegie Hall in New York. And that was an awesome experience. I got to spend a lot of time around Jimmy then, became close friends then. And then the next year, we did another choir that disbanded after a while, and Tyler joined that one. And that's where I met Tyler.
Yep, he's just a couple years younger than us in school, and so we always just stayed connected after we left high school, and still had a passion for music. And we started up the band in 2010 from an influence that we had got at a music festival in Winfield, Kansas in 2008. Is whenever Tyler and I went for the first time.
We went the first time because of a friend of ours, Ryan Curran. He's kind of been an inspiration for some of our music too. Jimmy and I, we sang in high school choir together as well, and we've been kind of like brothers ever since high school. We've been friends for a long time, and so when we went to our first Winfield, it was kind of whoa, this is really cool. And at that point, I think we were like, we probably need to do something and actually form a band, and that's where this all kind of spurred from.
Yep.
And I wasn't the original bass player. They've had two bass players before me, but going to Winfield, they went a couple years before I did, and then it was almost like reconnecting with some old friends in a way. I hadn't seen them in a few years, and then so we all started going to the same festival. And then they were needing a bass player, and I was happy to join.
You happy to be there.
Great. It's been the most fun experience since.
Now, as we go into our next song, Mr. Prinicky, which is a story about a real person, correct?
Yep.
Can you guys elaborate on this, and what made you turn that story into a song in the first place?
Oh, a buddy of ours, he's quite the Renaissance man, and he was into the movie at the time. It's a PBS documentary.
Yeah.
I actually had a copy of it, a DVD copy, so we kind of passed it around. Everybody watched it and took a gander at it. And it is quite the amazing story. A guy moves up to Alaska, wanting to live there for a year, be self-sufficient, build his own cabin, do everything. And quite the cinematographer, because he was the only one there. He would set up a camera ways away and then walk and do a shot walking in front of it.
Yeah, this is a film camera.
Yeah,
this is like...
And have to go collect his camera just for that shot of him walking through the forest. And so not only did this guy, he's an awesome survivor man in the forest, he's also a great cinematographer too. So watching that documentary, it kind of spoke to us in a way of what somebody could accomplish and things like that. And then I'm riding with a buddy and a guitar in my lap in a two-seater pickup like this. And then we wrote the song with the guitar all barely in the pickup, and and the rest is history. But it's an ode to a guy that deserves a lot of recognition, I believe. So
I love that story. I like to hear those stories that come from real life things. So great, that sounds extremely interesting. Here is our next song, Mr. Prinicky by Tragic Prelude.
Well, he's a man, lives off the land. his work done with his bare hands. When the chisel and saw those logs stacked high, when I get her all up in 10 days' time, said nobody will ever see the man they call old Rich Pernickey. He's on his leg from property. He can hunt and fish as he please. Now he's caught himself a fish, 17 a quarter length. Well, that's enough to satisfy his needs. Said a 1-year test turned 30. Well, I'm telling you a story of old Rich Pernickey. I said he's self-sufficient, does it all alone, living in Alaska, where he calls his home. Everything's always different, nothing stays the same. He loves living in it and watching things change. Well, he's getting ready for the winter long. He'll hop in his canoe with his gun. Now spies a big old caribou with sights lined up, could split straight through. Oh, now Mitch Bamboo, it's not your day. Oh, Mitch Pernickey like sheep anyway. I said he's self-sufficient, does it all alone, living in Alaska, where he calls his home. Everything's always different, nothing stays the same. He loves living in it and watching things change.
We're back in studio talking with members of the band Tragic Prelude. Now, you guys have a very interesting and attention-grabbing name. I feel that automatically incites intrigue. A lot of people see the moment a band chooses this name as kind of like a pivotal moment in the band's history. Can you tell us what made you choose Tragic Prelude, and what was that light bulb moment that was like, this is our name?
Yeah, we always identified as a Kansas band. We love the state of Kansas.
Yeah.
It is our home. It's where we all grew up, and we wanted to do like an ode to Kansas. And I'm not sure how many people are familiar with it, but in the Kansas state capitol, there's a painting of John Brown, the abolitionist, in the Kansas state capitol, where he's holding the Bible in one hand and a gun in the other, and the name of the painting is called The Tragic Prelude, and it was about the prelude to the Civil War. And we were like, this is kind of like a deep cut for Kansas history, and it's just like an ode to Kansas and how much we love this state, with it being, we loved it being a free state. There are a lot of great things we could pull from, but that was like one that was like a little mysterious, but also
very obscure Kansas reference. It's
Yeah.
like that's one, and it's kind of like I love it because people are like, oh, I thought you guys were going to be like a punk rock band or something. Like they always don't expect.
real sad.
Yeah, because I mean, back when we first started playing it, like the internet. Well, I mean, the internet was a thing, but it was like
We were on MySpace.
It wasn't as easy to know what people played until you went and saw them, and so trying to get like people to show up to shows and stuff like that, like sometimes they didn't know what to expect, and I think we always kept their attention. I think that's the fun part.
Now, you call yourself a family band. You talked a little bit about like your family members write songs. What does that mean, and why is that important for you to be known as a family band?
Yeah, I think just the origins of our band in general. I mean, you could speak to it too, but we had a lot of our friends that really started going, like we said, we started it because from influences we had gotten from a festival called the Walnut Valley Festival in Winfield, Kansas. We started going there with our friends, and that's whenever, like, there's probably, 6 different people that have written lyrics for us easily.
So at least 6,
out of our group, and or had influence
Some of them
in that.
still go to the festival, and some of them don't. But all of them still support us, like all the time. It's just kind of cool.
And then when we go to Winfield, we do have to that festival, we do have other people that never play with us through the year, but will play shows like sets with us there, and that's just part of the family. You know, it's us 3, but we welcome all of them in.
Yeah. I mean, there's been times where we've had 15 people on stage at Walnut Valley Festival. So, and it's fun because everybody can the musicianship is fun, and I think it's part of it is we write music that's simplistic enough but still complex enough that, and we try to, it's somehow followable, and I think it's one of the reasons why people can easily just sing along and things like that. It was kind of like the origins of when we wrote a lot of our early music was definitely for the festival and make it easy for people to come in and not know us at all and be able to sing along and have ownership, and I think that pays through with how that works too. I think it's all about our family kind of connecting with that.
And too, we wrote a lot of these songs when we were younger, when we were able to be around each other more often, especially not just us 3, but the other people that helped write songs as well. Yeah. So as we've kind of gone through our, growing up in adult lives, it's almost a connection to the people we don't get to see every day. When we play those songs, you think of that person that wrote that song, and so it transcends time a little bit. So that's good.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that, because going to my next question, artists usually write songs that make or relate to their audience's feelings. Is that a goal for you guys as well? And if so, what are you wanting your audience to feel or relate to in your songs?
We don't write love songs. Mm-hmm. We have one love song, and it's not really it's a heartbreak sad song,
right?
And it's long too.
It's a filler.
So we don't write love songs, but we write songs that are everyday things. Can't find the right size pants, your cat passing away. Just as many things like that. Tyler being into drag racing. Just stuff, hobby, stuff like that. Anything, our songs are relatable. And making a sandwich. I mean, everybody eats a sandwich, know, and we find that's, oddly enough, one of the most relatable subjects that we sing about. But it's just, I like that it's true stories, whether it's a true situation or a true story or a true story about somebody else outside the band. It's a lot of fun.
I feel like those situations make the best songs, make the audience really feel, they can connect with that. Now, let's move into our next song. It's called 3038, which is, in you guys' words, a fun song about a tall kid trying to find jeans that fit. Now, for me, that's a very serious issue that I feel like doesn't get a lot of attention enough. Just what inspired you guys to write a song about a tall kid that couldn't find jeans?
Yeah, it's actually about a buddy of ours. He's a diesel mechanic. The guy wears 3038s, and he has a hard time finding them. I mean, as simple as that. Like Kyle was saying, we write songs about everyday things. This is the struggle this guy has. And so we're like, all right, let's write a song about his struggle. And it's a silly song. It's simple, but it is a ton of fun. People love it. I think it's the #1 hit.
It's our biggest hit,
It's an easy sing-along song. Michael's great. I love Michael.
I don't know if I can remember to get it, but I have a problem finding pants that fit. But this one right here is for all the tall kids at the mall struggling to buy jeans. Don't worry, we see you. Here is 3038 by Tragic Prelude.
Skinny, it's not a crime. Said I am tall and skinny. Girls like it most of the time. I wear size 30, 38s. Levi's that I wear wear size 30, 38s. I can't find them anywhere. Well, I am a mechanic. These long arms help me reach the parts and pieces that I need to fix those worn out trucks. I wear size 30, 38s. The Levi's that I wear size 30, 38s. I can't find them anywhere. Well, I went down to the Walmart just to find a pair. Got size 38, 30s, but by God they're too fat for me. I wear size 30, 38s. The Levi's that I wear size 30, 38s. I can't find them anywhere. Well, I even looked on eBay, see what they had. Looks like I'll have to keep a patch, the old worn out pair that I have. I wear size 30, 38s. The Levi's that I wear size 30, 38s. I can't find them anywhere.
Back here behind the bands with local Southeast Kansas band Tragic Prelude. Thank you guys for joining us. So when you guys perform, I know you have your original songs, but do you do any covers or is it just straight original?
Oh, yeah, a bunch of covers.
Covers, but I think we kind of have like a criteria for our covers. Like we tend to want them to be older, maybe a little less popular songs. Or, I mean, some of them are pretty popular, but
We only
pretty
have a
picky.
couple. Yeah, we only have a couple old traditional bluegrass songs that we play, and we were kind of selective on them because we want them to be things that people would recognize, so we could fit in the genre a little bit. But then, like, I feel like, I mean, we play everything from like Queen to
Yeah.
We do Hey Joe.
Jimi Hendrix,
and
yeah.
we also cover Three Little Birds, Bob Marley, and
Yeah.
It's like we almost try to stay away from the country genre if we're going to try to cover something.
You're not
Like-
gonna you're not gonna hear us play Man in Constant Sorrow or Wagon Wheel. Not gonna
sorry,
happen.
sorry everybody.
Sorry. You heard it here first.
They've been requested.
Always.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now before we get out of here, can you guys tell us what's next for Tragic Prelude? You guys have any new songs in live you cooking up? You guys starting to tour? Anything you like our fans to know you want to shout out on our program?
1 gig a month. That's been our quota so far.
That's been our quota.
We might get a
we got a little bit backlogged there, but this fall, unfortunate injury. But after that, we'll just get back on it again next year. Trying to get one a month, maybe bump it up a little bit, but just it's great. We just get to have fun. We get to practice.
We want to write new songs, so the want's there. So I believe it'll happen.
We've got some stuff recorded with the local recording.
Yeah, I guess we should touch upon that. We don't have anything online recorded right now, really, besides some YouTube things, and we're working towards. We owe it to ourselves, not only also our friends that wrote songs, but we've got 24, 25 originals that we need to get
ready to be laid down.
Yeah, they need to be recorded for posterity reasons, and so.
Hey, you guys talk about, all your songs are about real life things. Now, our last song that we're going to do for you guys here is called Getting Kicked Out of Kansas. What inspired that song, and is that song about either one of you guys?
I don't know if it's factually true to actually get kicked out of a state or just like maybe urged out.
Yeah, it wasn't about us. We're not naming any names. But it definitely is based on a true story. I think it was a suggestion that it would be a wise idea for this person to go ahead and leave the state for a little bit, just to keep themselves out of trouble.
They came back and they're thriving.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us, taking time out of your busy schedules to be here on our show. Jimmy, welcome back to Missouri Southern Man, your old stomping grounds. I know our audience greatly appreciated it. I know I did. And thank you once again to Tragic Prelude for joining us today. We had a great time having them perform with us. I'm your host, Jordan Henderson. This has been another episode of Behind the Bands. And as always, thank you for watching, and continue to check out all of our content right here on our YouTube, KGCS, Missouri Southern State University, and also check out our regular programming on KGCS Channel 21. We'll end today's show with one last song, Kicked Out of Kansas by Tragic Prelude. See you guys next time.
Well, I got kicked out of Kansas for partying too much. Judge wasn't happy, said that I was pressing my luck. Said I gotta leave the state or else I'm doing time. I said, well, thank you, Judge, but leaving suits me fine. So I packed up a bag and head to the northwest. Not sure where I was going, but I figured I'd take a chance. Ended up in Portland when I heard it was the place to be. This place has got more banjo pickers than Nashville, Tennessee. I got kicked out of Kansas, the place where I was born. And I got kicked out of Kansas. Well, I ain't dead yet, but still it makes my mama mourn. Well, half the city's vegan and works on all the time. The other half just wants to drink a beer or have a smoke. It didn't take long to figure out which side I was on. I down a couple of pints and then I go on for a toke. I got kicked out of Kansas, the place where I was born. And I got kicked out of Kansas. Well, I ain't dead yet, but still it makes my mama mourn. Well, the Rose City seems to be a mighty fine town, but I miss those gravel roads. Miss the sun setting on a wheat field and the dirt between